Starting with the chapter mensuration in here, what we are going to study in mensurations. We have been studying mensurations for a very long time now. This usually comprises of three categories. One is areas, the other is perimeter, and the next one is the volumes, isn't it? And areas and perimeters are usually taken for 3D as well as for 2D shapes, both the area and the perimeter, but the volume usually is for the 3D shapes itself. Now, what are the categories of 3D shapes and 2D shapes? If we consider, the 2D shapes are square, rectangle, circle, triangle. These are the 2D shapes. Wherein we consider the 3D shapes, then it is the cube, the cuboid, the sphere, the cone, and all of these. Okay, now we have also 3D shapes, and 3D shapes are having the volume. They occupy the space, they occupy everything around, so they are considered to have the volume. Okay, when I keep a cone on a surface, what's going to happen? It is going to occupy the space in the air. It's going to be like this, right? It is going to be something like this. So it is going to occupy the space on the surface and in the air itself as well. So this is how this volume is calculated for a particular shape. And to remember, there's a I don't know if you all know this trick, but volume is usually area. You find the area of that particular shape into the length you do it. Okay, into the length, not exactly the length, but the width, you can say. Okay, if we are considering this, you find the area of the circle times the height. It's actually the height, not the length, but the height. Okay, area times the height is going to give you the volume of the shape. So whatever the shape is, if I have a cube, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of one side. Okay, this area I'll find it out, and once I find out the area, I'm going to multiply it with its height. Okay, the cube has length and width, and multiplying with the height will give me the volume. Okay, so this is how we calculate it. So before we jump into the exercises, we need to know a few areas. What is it? The area of, we are writing only the areas in here. The area of the square is side into side, because the square has all the sides of equal length, isn't it? This is side, this is side. If all the four sides are equal in it, we have studied this in your quadrilaterals, understanding quadrilaterals chapter as well, isn't it? So the area of the square is side into side. Going to the rectangle, it is length times the breadth. What is the length? The longest side will be the length. This is your length, this is your length, and this is your breadth, and this will be your breadth as well. Okay, then we have the circle. Considering the circle has a radius. Circle has a radius, so we are going to take it as pi r square to be your area for the circle. Following it, we have the area of the triangle. Okay, the area of the triangle is taken as half base into height. Half base into height. Okay, this becomes your base, and this vertical thing will be called as the height. So half base into height is the area of the triangle. Then you have a parallelogram. A parallelogram looks exactly like your rectangle, because opposite sides are equal in your parallelogram. So what is it? Its area is base times height. Now what is the base? This side becomes the base, this is the base, and this is going to be the height. Not this one, you're not going to take this one, but you're going to take the perpendicular height for this one. Okay, so these are the basic ones that we are going to use in your exercise, and we'll proceed with it. But what about the perimeter? How am I going to calculate the perimeter? To calculate the perimeter, there's one simple rule. The perimeter is actually the sum of lengths of all sides. If I write it down, it seems like very big a formula, right? If I have this shape, iska kaise karenge? Whatever it is 13, it is 12, it is 9, and it is 4. Suppose, now I'm supposed to find out the perimeter for this one. Kaise karenge? Add up all the sides. Add the sides given. Finished. That's the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter for this particular shape, though it may seem to be like a rectangle, but it is not, because I've written different values here. So 13 plus 4 plus 9 plus 12, whatever order you want to add it in, you can add it in, and you will get the perimeter for this particular shape. Okay, now moving on to the first exercise, that is 11.1. Exercise 11.1, it says, the first one given over here is, now when you're doing mensurations, I want you to do one thing. What is that one thing? Draw the figure. Unless and until you do not draw the shape, it is going to be difficult for you to understand the question. So this is my personal suggestion to everyone, to draw the shapes, okay, and write down the dimensions as in how it is saying. So over here it says, go to the textbook, open exercise 11.1, look at the first question, read and come back over here. A square and a rectangle field with the measurements as given in the figure have the same perimeter. There's a square, okay, and there is a rectangle. Fine. The measurements are given as 60 meters. So if it's a square, all the four sides will be 60 meters. Now for the rectangle, it is the length is given to me, that is 80 meters in here. Which field has a larger area? And then it is saying the perimeter of the square is equal to the perimeter of rectangle. Oh my god. So perimeter of square is equal to perimeter of rectangle is given to me. So what is the formula for the perimeter of square? It is 4 into S, or side 60 plus 60 plus 60, 60. What about the rectangle? We know the formula, it is 2 into L plus B. This is what we are learning from, I think, from grade 5. My son is in grade 5 now. So since grade 5, we all are learning the same thing. So I know the 60 here. He said to me, what did he say to me? He said the perimeter of this is equal to the perimeter of this. So I wrote down the formula of this and I wrote down the formula of this. And because he said it is equal, I'm writing that both of them are equal. Happy I am here. Now, further, what am I going to do? Now I need to start substituting the values of all the terms that I know. I know side is 60. So 4 into 60 is what I'm going to do. Finished. Then 2 into length, I know 80 plus B. B I don't know. So I'll write it as B itself here. Start simplifying this one. What all you can simplify, just simplify that. This becomes 460 times. I'm going to do it here itself, not moving to the next page. 4 6 are 24 and 0 comes in here. Fine. Is equal to 2 times of 80. So that becomes, this multiplies with it, or you can just keep it like this, 2 into 80 plus B. Don't complicate it. Now you need to find out the B. You have studied algebra very well. So what you're going to do, you're slowly going to send this towards the other side, then this goes towards the other side, isn't it? To make B as a subject. So send this 2 towards the other side, it becomes 240 by 2, which is 80 plus B. This 2 1 times, 2 1 times, 2 times and 0. 120 is equal to 80 plus B. Sending it towards the other side, 120 minus 80 is equal to B. That is 40 is equal to B. Now 40 what? 40 meters is equal to the breadth I get. Out of nowhere I found the breadth also, no? He didn't even ask me to find the breadth. But I was lucky enough to understand what he said. He said that the perimeter of this is equal to the perimeter of this one. That's exactly what I did. I wrote down the formulas and I equated them and I knew the length. So whatever is unknown, I substituted the value of S, substituted the value of L. Whatever was unknown, automatically we came out with that particular thing. Now that you know the breadth of this particular shape is 40 meters, what is he asking? Which field has a larger area? We can very simply solve it. The square was of 60 meters. So square area, you're going to find it. Okay, what you're going to do, you're going to find the area of the square. That is going to be side into side. So it is 60 meters into 60 meters. That becomes 60 into 6, 6 into 6, 36. Double 0 will add in here. Meter into meter, square meters. Finished. Area of rectangle now. Area of rectangle. What would be the formula in here? It is length times the breadth. So what is the length I have? The length that I have is 80 into the breadth that I just got is 40 meters, isn't it? So it is going to be 8 4s are 3200 meters square or square meters. Now here I wrote square meters, here I wrote meter square. This is just to understand. Either way it is fine. Or you write meter square. That's also completely fine. So who's got a bigger area now? The square's got, though it looks like a tiny mini square with 60 meters only, whereas this rectangle has 80 meters and 40 meters, but still square has the greater area or the larger area. So you're going to write it down. Square has the larger area. Okay. Now, sometimes examination they'll ask you by how much the square is bigger than the rectangle. In that scenario, what are you going to do? By how much is it? 3600 minus 3200 meters square is equal to 400 meters square. So the square has a larger area than the rectangle by 400 meters square. is what you're going to write it and finish it off with. Okay, going to the second question in here. The second question, it says that Mrs. Kaushik has a square plot. Oh, she's rich. With the measurement as shown in the figure. There's a figure given as well. Okay, I didn't see the figure. My bad, sorry. Okay, so Mrs. Kaushik has got a square plot with the measurement as shown in the figure. She wants to construct a house in the middle of the plot. She's got a field of 25 and 25 square field. That's a square field she's got, Mrs. Kaushik. Even if the figure is not given, I am going to draw the figure. I didn't see the figure and I was up to drawing the figure in here because I have been taught since my childhood that whenever you're drawing mensurations, you got to draw the figures. Okay, and then that's when it becomes easy for you to simplify the questions and solve them out. Okay, so Mrs. Kaushik has got a plot, square plot of the following measurements. I'm just taking the measurements from the figure, that is 25 meters here and 25 meters here. Even if it is not given here, I would have understood it because the question says that she has got a square plot with the measurement. Okay, she wants to construct a house in the middle of the plot. Okay, a garden is developed around the house. Okay, she wants it in the center. The garden should be there. This is going to be the house. I'm going to write it house here. And this part is going to be the garden. Okay, all of this, I'm not going all the way around just to show that this is going to be the garden. That's it. Find the total cost of developing the garden around the house at a rate of, okay, this is all going to be the garden. The house that she's going to make is of 20 meters by 15 meters. She's not making a square house. She's bloody making a rectangle house in between. Okay, take it. So, garden banane ka cost is given to me as rupees 55 per meter square. Okay, so, sorry for my accent. It became a teenager's accent though. So, going ahead, from the area of the field, if I remove the house area, I'll get the garden, isn't it? मेरे पास बड़ी सी ज़मीन है, suppose this is my ज़मीन and I'm making the house here and बाकी का सारा is going to be the garden. तो मुझे garden कितने का बन रहा है? How will I know? अगर मैं पूरी ज़मीन से घर का area निकाल के बाजू रख दूँ, then I'm gonna get the area of the garden. So that's what I'm going to do here. Area of the field, area of the square plot, because it is given to me as a square plot, which is going to be equal to side into side, which is nothing but 25 or 25. 25 times of 25, I forgot my calculator, it's something around to be 625, I guess, I'm not sure. I have told 25, 5 to the 10, 11, 12, 12 plus 10, I'm so sorry, I'm so weak at math. Not weak at math, but weak at multiplication and stuff. 2 5 is 10, and 2 2 is 4 5, yeah, 625, I am that good, see. So it is 625 meters square is the area of the square plot. Now from this, I need to subtract the area of the house. So area of house is equal to length times the breadth, which is, the length is given to me 20 and this is given to me 15. 20 times of 15, which is going to be 30, 2 5, 15 is 30, 30 and the 0 comes in here, 30 meters square. Okay, so area of garden, the garden area is equal to plot minus the house area, isn't it? The plot minus the house is what I'm going to do. What is the plot area? The plot area is 625 minus 300. It is going to be 325 meters square. Now, they're not stopping here. They're asking us what is the cost of gardening the area of the garden when if it is gardened at 55 meters per square. Okay, cost of gardening would go as 325 times of 55. That turns out to be, I don't know, let me just grab my calculator. So going ahead, 325 times of 55, 325 times of, times of 55, that goes as 1785. Oh my god, 17875 rupees. Starting up with the third question, it says that the shape of a garden is rectangular in the middle and semicircular in the ends. Okay, there's a garden which is rectangular in the middle and it is semicircular in the ends. Okay, cool. Okay, then it says that find the area of the area and perimeter of this garden. The length of the rectangle is 20. Okay, it is given to me as 20 meters, not the length of rectangle, but from here to here it is given to me as 20 meters. Okay, and then from here to here it is given to me as 7 meters. So here one thing that I want you to understand is when I remove this semicircle and when I remove this semicircle and I join them together, does it not appear to be like a square? It would like. So it would look like a square circle to me here. Okay, so when it looks like a circle, in the circle, what is the formula for to find the area? For the circle, the formula is pi r square is the formula. I need the radius. How do I get the radius? From here to here, this is going to be a radius. This is going to be the radius, isn't it? So for the semicircle also, this will be the radius. From here to here will be the radius, and from here to here also it will be the radius, isn't it? The radius in a circle, it can be here, it can be here, it can be here, anywhere it is going to remain the same. But if you see, the diameter of the circle is given to me as 7 centimeters. The diameter is given as 7 centimeters. Then the radius is going to be diameter by 2, which is 7 by 2, which will be equal to 3.5 meters, isn't it? So 3.5 meters it is going to be the radius. So let's just find the area of the circle first, so that this part will be over for us to understand. Okay, so area of the circle is nothing but pi, which is 22 by 7, into r is half of 7. If this full thing is 7, half of 7 will be 3.5. 3.5. So if I take it now, if I take it 7 one times and 7 5 times will be 35, isn't it? But I have a decimal, so that comes 0.5 times. Okay, 0.5, 22 is equal to times, sorry, not 20, is equal to 5. I'm writing the 5, removing the decimal. When I remove the decimal, 1 and 0 will come here, so that becomes 5 upon 10. 5 upon 10, how am I going to take it? I'm going to take it as 10. 2 times it will go. 10, 2 5s is 10, and 2 11s it becomes. Okay, then 5 one times and 1 time. So what am I left with? I am left with just 11. 11 what? 11 meters square is the area of the circular path. Now how about the area of the rectangle? I know for the area of the rectangle I need this side, this side, this side, and this side. This side I know it is 7 meters already, isn't it? How about this one? The full thing is 20. From that 20, I need to remove this part and I need to remove this part. So if this was 3.5, this is the radius. This is also the radius. This will also be 3.5. So this 3.5 and 3.5 needs to be subtracted from 20. So length of rectangle is equal to 20 minus 3.5 minus 3.5 from two sides. 20 minus 3 will be 17, 16.5 it will become. Or else you can add these two together. 3.5 and 3.5 will sum up to be 7. So from 20, if you subtract 7, it's going to be 13 here. Okay, so it becomes 13 meters is the length. Area of rectangle is equal to L into B, which is 13 times of 7. That will be 7 3s 21, 7 7 8 9, 91 meters square. So area of the garden is equal to rectangle plus 2 semicircle, isn't it? Or 2 semicircle will become 1 circle. You can write it down. 91 plus 11. 91 plus 11. That's 2 and 102 meters square is the area of the garden here. Going with the fourth question, the fourth question says a flooring tile has the shape of a parallelogram. There's a floor which has the shape of a parallelogram whose base is 24 centimeters. 24 centimeters is the base and the corresponding height is this will be the corresponding height. This is going to be the corresponding height is 10 centimeters. Cool. Okay, how many such tiles are required to cover a floor of area? This has to go on a big and giant area of the floor. The floor may be rectangle, square or what, I don't know. But the area of the field is given to me as 1080 meters square. तो अब कैसे निकालेंगे हम लोग? To do this one, what we are going to do is, we know these tiles are going in here, isn't it? These tiles will fix in here. तो इसके एरिया में इसका एरिया निकालेंगे. दोनों के एरिया को डिवाइड कर देंगे. Smaller by the bigger or the bigger by the smaller, whatever you do, you will get how many tiles are required to cover this particular area. Okay? Okay, now here one more thing they have given. If you can split the tiles in whatever way you want to fill up the corner, you can do it. That means just you need to find out the number of tiles required. Okay, so area of tile is equal to base into height. That is 24 times of 10, that is 240 centimeters square. But this area is given to you in area meter square. So what you're going to do is convert this into meter square. Okay, to find out the number of things. Or convert this into centimeter square. Either way it is possible. But when I convert this, okay, now I'm converting it into centimeter square. So क्या करूँगी मैं? I know 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. But यहाँ पे 2 बारी multiply किया जाएगा because it is meter square. And then it is getting into centimeter square. So square होने की वजह से I'm going to multiply it twice. So it becomes 108,080 into 100 into 100. So that becomes 108,000. So that's somewhere around these many centimeters square it is. Okay, now divide both of them. Okay, area of the floor by tile, when you do it, it becomes 108,000 by 240. 0 is gone. 2 table. 2 12s will go. 2 5s 4 times. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 6 times. How many times will it go? 2 7 times. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 3 times. 2 1 times, isn't it? 2 3 times 6, 1 is left. 5. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. What am I left with? 1 3 5. 000 by 3. So 3 1 times you're going to go. Let's go. 3. How many times will it go? 3 4 times 12. 1 will be left. 5 times. 1 2 3. So 45,000 tiles are required. These are the number of tiles. This is not centimeters or anything. These are the number of tiles that are required to cover the area of the floor. Okay. Going back to the third question, we missed one thing. What did he say? He said that find the area as well as the perimeter. Oh my god, we missed the perimeter of this shape. To find the perimeter of that particular shape, if you see, this is the shape. Rectangle in the center, semicircles in the ends. Okay, we know that from here to here it was 20 meters. Okay, but here to here it is just 13 meters. Okay, now we can add this 13, but how about this circular parts that you have? So for this we just told that this is going to look like a circle, 2 semicircles joined together. What is the circumference? Circumference, F-E-R-E-N-C-E. Circumference is the perimeter of circle. Perimeter of circle is called as the circumference in here. That is 2 pi r is the formula. So 2 into 22 by 7, and the radius we knew from the previous one is 3.5. That turns out to be 2 1 times and 2 0.5. I'm going to remove the decimal and write it down. So it becomes 2 into 22 into 5 upon 10. Okay, 2 table. 2 5s are 10, 2 11s are 5 1s are 5 1s are. What are you left with? 2 into 11, which is nothing but 22 meters is the perimeter. So this curve path plus this curve path is 22 meters. So the perimeter is equal to 22 meters plus this is done. Now these two plus 13 plus 13. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. 48 meters will be the perimeter. This was what was missed. Okay, going with the fifth question now. The fifth question says that an ant is moving around a few food pieces of different shape scattered on the floor. For which food piece would the ant have to take a longer round? Remember, the circumference of circle can be obtained by using the expression. Okay, they've given the expression already, but in the examination, your teachers are not going to give it to you. C is equal to 2 pi r, where r is the radius of the circle. Now, one of the food piece is in this particular thing, and she's going around the food piece. Now, when she's going around the food piece, that means she is going in the circumference path, right? She's going in the perimeter path. Okay, now here in the first figure they have given me 2.8 centimeters is the diameter is given to me. Okay, diameter se to mere paas hai nahi formula, so what am I going to do? There I can write it down, the formula with the diameter as well. 2 pi d by 2 is the radius, isn't it? R is equal to d by 2. If this 2 and this 2 goes off, it is pi d. Okay, pi d is also one of the formulas that you have. Pi d is one formula and 2 pi r is one formula for the circumference of the circle. Okay, but यहाँ पे half लेना है आपको circumference because it is a semicircle, isn't it? So इसका half लेंगे हम लोग. So 2 pi r by 2, half ले रहे हैं. So this 2 goes off. You are just left with pi r, pi d when the diameter we are taking, but we are considering still the radius itself, and the radius will be half of this. If this is 2.8, radius will be 1.4. ये पूरे का आधा will be 1.4. So it is 22 by 7 into 1.4. 7 1 times, 7 0.2 times हो जाता. Okay, so 22 into 2 by 10 हो गया. Decimal निकालने थे. Okay, 5 times and 11 times it becomes 22 by 5. 22 by 5 it becomes, and then what we are going to do, divide it with 5 table. So 5 divides 22, 5 4s are 20, 2 putting a decimal, taking a 0, 5 4s are 20, so that's going to be 4.4. 4.4 is only for the outers one. How about this one? 2.8. So total path for the first figure is 4.4 centimeters plus 2.8 centimeters. That turns out to be 4 plus 8 is going to be 12. 1 and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. 7.2 centimeters is the circumference, that the distance that the ant is going to go around the first food particle. Likewise, we have the second food particle whose shape is given to me as this. Okay, and here this distance is given to me as 2.8 centimeters again, and this height is given to me as 1.5 centimeters. So okay, so what we are seeing in this one is this is given to me as 1.5, so also this will be 1.5 centimeters, isn't it? If this is 2.8, then this is 2.8 as well. Okay, 2.8 is in here. Okay, now what did we do from the first figure when we were finding out the circumference of the semicircle? We got the value as 4.4 centimeters only for the semicircle part. Okay, so the semicircle, this distance is 4.4 centimeters is what we already know. So 2.8 plus 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 4.4 is what we are going to do. Okay, to find out the perimeter of this shape, or the distance the ant is going to travel in here. So 4 plus 5, 9. 9, 14, 14, and 14 plus 8 is going to be 22. So 2 will come here, point. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. 10.2 centimeters will be the distance that it is going to travel. Okay, then going to the next shape again. The next shape is given to me as a cone shape. Okay, This is the shape. Okay, now looking at this shape, it is a cone shape at the bottom and then you have a semicircle at the top. You know the distance of the semicircle, the circumference of the semicircle is 4.4 and this is given to me as 2 centimeters and 2 centimeters. So it becomes 4.4 plus 2 centimeter plus 2 centimeter, that is equal to 2 2s, 4 4 4s, 8.4 centimeter will be the sum for this. So that's where we have come to the end of the first exercise. And the second exercise has the different types of shapes and their areas, which we are going to see in the next upcoming videos.